Hey trainers, it's Pokémon Master TC, and today is a real treat for me because I get to show off my Pokémon collection from my childhood. I get to show off a little bit of what I have because as promised on this channel, I will be showcasing some pretty rare items of the Pokémon franchise from my childhood that, yes, is from the 90s. And today, I'm showing off my complete in-box copies of Pokémon Red, Blue, and Yellow that is all from my childhood. Now, if you love the Pokémon franchise, if you love discussions, rankings, and yes, collection showcases, then hit that sub button because I've got plenty of Pokémon content on my channel and I've got plenty coming. So hit that sub button and let's enjoy Pokémon together. Pokémon changed my life. It became my first addiction. The TV show, games, cards, and toys. I was enamored by it all. Becoming a Pokémon master was all that I cared about as a kid. And so, I became one. Join me, Pokémon Master TC, as I relive the most nostalgic part of my childhood and showcase my Pokémon collection. And most important of all, share my love of Pokémon with you. As a kid, I was completely obsessed with Pokémon. And it started with the TV show, and then the Game Boy games came out, and I just had to have them. And so, starting with the first Pokémon game that I ever got, it's my favorite because of my nostalgia for it, but the first game I ever got was Pokémon Blue. So this is my original childhood copy. I'm gonna show it off up close to the camera. You're gonna see the side, the back, the other side, we got the top, we got the bottom. I cannot believe how nice it has been kept for all of these years. I've had this since I was 10 years old, and I'm a lot older now. And so I'll be sharing a little bit of my memories of getting each game. And with Pokémon Blue, it was my first Game Boy game in the Pokémon franchise, and I ended up getting it for my birthday. And it was, blue's my favorite color, and I love Blastoise, and so I remember talking to my parents and saying, you know, if I was gonna get a Pokemon game, Pokemon Blue would be my top choice. And they ended up getting it for me, and I played it so much. Car rides, in the family room. I remember this was the first video game that I was thinking about at school. I could not stop thinking about Pokemon Blue and what Pokemon I was gonna catch, what gym leader I was gonna fight next. This had my entire attention as a 10-year-old boy, and Pokemon Blue is super special to me. Now, all of these that I'm showing off, I have the cartridges still for, and I have the trainer manuals for them. They're in a special spot, hidden away in my collection in protective material, and so I just got these out, but I do have the cartridges and the manuals that go along with these, but I just wanted to show them off. So that is Pokemon Blue. Now, my mom ended up surprising me a couple months later, and as noted in my first video that I've ever done on this channel, my parents were going through a divorce, and Pokemon really helped me get through that tough time in my life. But I had beaten Pokemon Blue, and I was probably on my 5th playthrough of it, and my mom surprised me out of the blue with Pokémon Red. And this is my childhood copy. I'll show it off to the camera like this. You got the side, the bottom, the other side, the top, and the back. So again, I don't know how I kept these games so nice. I wasn't the type of kid to, you know, tear into plastic or cardboard like crazy, But I also wasn't a kid to purposely save the game boxes. But I did. I don't know. They just sat on my shelves for years and years, and miraculously, they're in really good shape. You know, they're beat up a little bit, but for the most part, these are wonderful game cases for the original trilogy of Pokemon. Now, I will tell you that I didn't know the difference between Pokemon Red and Blue. And my mom, she didn't have a lot of money at the time, but she got me Pokemon Red. And I remember playing it and thinking, this isn't that much different than Pokemon Blue. Like, what's the differences? And I made the mistake of telling her that. I was like, yeah, this game's really not that different. And she kind of got offended that she had bought me this gift, and I was kind of like, oh, it's really not that different. But I backtracked like the next day, and I was like, oh, Mom, there's way more Pokemon to catch in this one. There's different Pokemon, and now I have a different starter, and it's really good. It's really different. And so I think that helped, you know, me show my appreciation for Pokemon Red. Now the final game that I got, or that I'm showing off in my Pokemon Complete in Box childhood collection, is going to be Pokemon Yellow. And this one I received that Christmas. It was the final Christmas with my parents. They were in the thick of a divorce, and they wanted my childhood to end on a happy note. And so I had asked for Pokemon Yellow for Christmas, and I ended up getting it. And I remember firing up that very day and noticing that it was different from Pokemon Red and Blue. And I think that I recalled it being different. I knew that Pikachu was in it more. I knew that it followed the anime a little bit more. And by that time, I had watched a lot of the first season of Pokemon. And so I was familiar with, you know, Jesse and James of Team Rocket. And this was just a real treat for me. And it was a blast to play through Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. And you better believe I had the link cable, I still have it, and I would play all 3 games at once, and I would trade to myself Pokemon. And that is how I would complete the Pokedex. But, you know, these 3 games are very, very special to me, and I'm gonna be sharing a confession with all of you right now, but I plan to be buried with these copies of Pokemon in my casket. They are going with me to the underworld because they are just so special to me, and I want to enjoy Pokemon for eternity. So this is Pokemon Yellow, and I've shown you Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. These are my childhood copies that I am so happy and nostalgic for that I still have them, and they are in wonderful shape. So that's a little sneak peek of my Pokemon collection. I've got plenty more games to show off. I've got plenty more merchandise, posters, some really unique things in my Pokemon collection that I would love to share with all of you trainers. So drop me a comment below and let me know, out of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, what was the first one that you got in your collection, or what was your favorite one from the trilogy? Do you have any of these complete in box, and are they from your childhood? If so, you're pretty lucky, just like me. Now, while you're dropping a comment, make sure you like this video, and of course, subscribe to my channel because I've got plenty more Pokemon stuff to showcase, and I've also got a lot of other content on my channel, like Pokemon rankings, Pokemon discussions, and of course, Pokemon of the Week, in which I showcase a Pokemon from the original 150. So hit that sub button to help me grow. Trainers, thanks for watching, and good luck catching them all.